The Jamaica Labour Party wins second term following elections on the 3rd of September. Guyana tightens curfew as COVID-19 cases rise. Trinidad and Tobago Prime Minister says togetherness needed to fight pandemic. These are the top stories in this week's edition of the CARICOM NewsTime. I am Michelle Nurse. Thank you for joining us. The Jamaica Labour Party, under the leadership of Andrew Holness, won a second term in office on Thursday. Here's Kendall Morgan with the details.
Jamaicans gave a landslide victory to the Jamaica Labour Party of Prime Minister Mr. Andrew Holness in general elections held on Thursday, 3rd September. Prime Minister Holness took 49 of the 63 seats at stake, with the other 14 going to the People's National Party of outgoing opposition leader Dr. Peter Phillips. In accepting the victory on Thursday night, Prime Minister Holness acknowledged the significant responsibility placed on his party.
It must never be that the government that emerges from this victory takes on any characteristics of arrogance, of inhumility. It must never be that the government that emerges from this victory takes the people for granted in any way. As I stand here tonight, I am obviously happy to have won, but I want to assure all of you that I do carry this burden with great consideration of the expectations of not just those who elected us, but those who are looking on us for future decision as to whether or not they will participate in the process.
And after leading his party to Thursday's big defeat, Dr. Phillips announced his resignation as political leader and set things in train for the election of his replacement.
The results of the general elections held yesterday, September 3rd, have been very unfavorable to the People's National Party. As in all undertakings such as this, the ultimate responsibility must rest with the leader of the party. Accordingly, I consider it my duty to demit office as president of the party, and I have written to the chairman of the People's National Party to ask that the National Executive Council and the executive of the party make the necessary arrangements as soon as is practicable to elect a new leader of the party.
The Electoral Office of Jamaica put the voter turnout at 37% of the just under 2 million registered electors. This is down from 48% for the last elections in 2016. Commentators have cited voter apathy and public concerns about the COVID-19 pandemic as possible contributors.
As St. Kitts and Nevis completely lifted its curfew and shelter-in-place measures, the British Virgin Islands, Guyana, and Trinidad and Tobago were among the countries in the region that were tightening measures to fight the pandemic as cases continued to climb. The British Virgin Islands went into hard lockdown from the 2nd of September until the 16th of September. That means that residents must remain within the confines of their home between a minute after 1 p.m. each day and 5 each morning. The limited hours of movement are for essential trips only, such as purchasing groceries or medicine or taking limited exercise. From the 1st of September, Guyana reverted to its 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. curfew. The curfew for the past couple of weeks was from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. And as part of measures to ensure strict adherence to COVID-19 protocols, charges will be imposed on individuals who fail to wear a mask in public spaces. Guyana's airports will also remain closed to all incoming international flights, with some special exceptions. The measures are to remain in full effect until the 30th of September 2020. Over in Trinidad and Tobago, failure to wear a mask will also attract a penalty. All in-house dining at restaurants and bars, food courts and malls is suspended, and beaches, rivers, gyms, and places of worship are closed. The measures, which have been announced to prevent the spread of the virus in Trinidad and Tobago, will be reviewed on the 14th of September. We told you last week about the plans to reopen schools in some countries. Students in St. Vincent and the Grenadines and Antigua and Barbuda will return to classes on the 7th of September. Students and parents in Antigua and Barbuda are taking the new normal in stride. Some of them spoke with the ABS TV.
I'm a bit apprehensive, but I think it's important for them to return to school. Face-to-face interaction is very important for learning.
The children have to go to school, and I think face-up is quite important.
I'm kind of happy that she gets to go back to school, start back school instead of home, have nothing much to do, bored.
They're of the view protocols are sufficient.
They have sanitizers, they've limited the number of students that will be in class at one time.
They will have them come to school the first form with the third form, so they won't be coming all at once, and they still will be wearing the mask as well as practicing the social distancing.
I'm okay with the protocol that the school have put in place for them.
Students also shared their views on returning to the classroom.
I'm scared because I don't want to get sick. It is what it is. I have to come to school and learn. I feel safe as long as I have my mask, and there'll be days where I'm not going to be at school. I feel safe. I mostly feel safe. Try to keep myself a distance away from people and wear my mask, hand sanitize. I will wash my hands, wear my mask, hand sanitize, and do some social distancing. Making sure that I have them, have my wipes, have my disinfecting wipes.
Schools in Dominica will also resume on the 7th of September using guidelines that were drawn from sources including CARICOM, the Caribbean Development Bank, and the Caribbean Public Health Agency. The Bahamas will reopen schools on the 5th of October. Schools were previously scheduled to open there on the 21st of September. The CARICOM Youth Program recently launched the Aspiring Youth Empowerment Program, a special 6-week webinar series where 200 young people from across the region get an opportunity to learn about options to help develop skills and capitalize on opportunities in the wake of the pandemic. The launch included addresses from a number of officials, including Assistant Secretary General for Trade and Economic Integration at the CARICOM Secretariat, Mr. Joseph Cox, Head Social Policy Development of the Commonwealth Secretariat, Mr. Lane Robinson, and Director Human and Social Development at the CARICOM Secretariat, Ms. Helen Royer. Deputy Program Manager, Youth Development at the CARICOM Secretariat, Ms. Michelle Small-Bartley, gave an overview of the project. She explained that the sessions aim to address issues such as youth unemployment, inadequate employability skills among young people, the unprecedented effects of COVID-19, and the need for expansion of the Caribbean economy through entrepreneurship.
We want to achieve from this program. We have our objectives, which is really one, to increase youth financial literacy, to make informed business decisions, to build entrepreneurship capacity, to assist our youth in their social capacity, to increase young people's self-efficacy and self-confidence and other soft skills to reach their potential, optimal potential. Also, what is it that on a long-term, medium to long-term basis that we want to achieve? One, to assist the strengthening of the Caribbean economy over the long term, to empower our young people to become more self-reliant, to advance their potential as entrepreneurs, and to make better financial decisions within the short and medium term. Enable mindset change to improve moral intelligence and youth resilience. Also, to at least, well, I must say that initially when we designed the program, we designed it to take a capacity of 60 young persons that we would actually train and actually give certification after. But interestingly, I'll tell you that the applications that came in were surprising, because we got a total of 2,845 applications.
There were 2 interactive sessions, one focusing on opportunities online that young people can tap into, which was done by Alicia Little, CEO of Internet Income Jamaica. Her presentation was titled Opportunities Are Knocking, Establishing Your Online Business and Making an Earning from the Comfort of Your Home. The second engagement was conducted by Program Manager Agriculture at the CARICOM Secretariat, Mr. Sean Ball. He focused on opportunities in the agriculture sector. The title of his presentation was The Future of Agriculture, Trends, Challenges, and Opportunities. The Aspiring Youth Empowerment Program focuses on the theme Recognizing Your Needs and providing you with the opportunity to thrive beyond adversity. Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Dr. Keith Rowley, used his Independence Day message to point out that togetherness is necessary to fight the COVID-19 pandemic and to rebuild the economy. As the country recorded 1,000 cases, the Prime Minister called on his countrymen and women to think and act sensibly.
We all expect this pandemic will pass eventually, but our future and fortunes cannot be just tied to the passing of COVID-19. It must be built on us growing, on our sowing and building, on us thriving in new businesses and in new ways while we make our national recovery and passage through these difficult times, no matter how long they last. Like everything else, it could happen quicker if all hands are on deck. We can move faster and stronger if all sectors of government and civil society were toiling in the fields with one goal, as I know we all already have. I want to assure every citizen now, this government is already in the fields and has the determination, grit, and imagination that will lay the foundation on which we will re-emerge with a society, a government, and a public service that would be transformational and progressive in every sense. In every crisis, there is opportunity, and this government will embrace this global catechism as an opportunity to unlock the potential and empower the people of this country, as it has always been our greatest strength and would continue to be during the recovery. There's one reality that is as inescapable as it gets, and that is that we are all in this together.
Unity was also underlined in the CARICOM Secretary General's congratulatory message to Trinidad and Tobago. Secretary General Erwin LaRocque praised Trinidad and Tobago's role in regional integration. The Secretary General said that as one of the Caribbean community's founding members, Trinidad and Tobago has maintained its leadership role in advancing the integration movement, including through its leadership on regional security and energy issues. Trinidad and Tobago observed its 58th independence anniversary on the 31st of August. For these and other stories, visit the CARICOM website at caricom.org or the CARICOM news site at today.caricom.org. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please continue to be safe and see you next time.